there. All right, everybody, welcome to another session of Streams of Spiro. We are awful at tracking what episode it is. I think some are still missing going up, which Rika will, I'm sure, get to at some point. This will follow soon after that. If you are waiting on for this episode on Twitch, we apologize. We had some technical issues, so this is where we're going straight to the YouTube channel, Spectre Studios. That's where you'll find this one on its own. We will also, unfortunately, have to announce that John will, who is playing Alec, will no longer be able to continue with us through this campaign for some personal issues that he's dealing with. So he needed to step away and take care of that. So we have 4 at this moment, but we soon to have a growing party after this, provided these members survive. They'll still be here. We don't know. To recap that, our illustrious group found themselves at Forstad. They had found Hephaestus. The ability to make sure that the group that he is recognized as a mercenary contingent of Forstad with a lot of liberal freedoms to pursue higher threats much outside Forstad's 4 walls or surrounding areas. And he may operate into that stead there, leaving his old active duty from what he was part of, even though he was missing action for quite some time. With that, the commander obviously realized that you guys had a very dire situation. He has granted you the 7th company to escort you to the Drow city. And with that, you guys met Lucky, then met his elite squad called the Gamblers. They have got you escorting through. You went through Blackhold. That they realized that was a former outside protection castle or fortress for Forstad. However, the drow have pushed a number of undead on it, and it has become haunted and pretty much in ruins. Pretty much only a company now maintains the very small area to the bridge leading into Forstad. They're really not able to maintain anything else in that area, so they've kind of given up on the haunting of that. When you traversed with them, the 7th company was forced to take on a number of zombies. Pushed through that, you guys in turn went on an offshoot way to get out to the Underdark, led by Lucky. His squad kind of helped get more protection as you went through a chapel area that was designated to Ares and ran into your own undead. And that thing, you found out why it's been pretty dangerous in Black Hole, and a number of ghosts possessed some members of your party. And
but we won. We don't need to get into details of it. We won that little fight.
You did win the fight well, but some members seem to be doing better under possession than normally. But there was a fight. It was definitely a fight, and I think our tank Hephaestus realized that friends can be dangerous enemies too, and we got past that. But so you got past that. You're now in a small area. The rest of the 7th company is dealing with the undead. The Gamblers are with you. They're going to lead you the rest of the way as a smaller contingent. Hopefully, with less notice, the drow will basically pinpoint on you guys. You are not taking a long rest. You are taking a short rest. So that's where we kind of ended. You guys were using hit dice. Aleski did some spell effects to help grant you more, or no, that was Alec did grant you some more hit dice pool to use to heal you guys up. But remember, if you did cast a number of spells, you have to use some of your features to get those back, because you're not getting everything back with a long rest. So it's going to be a short rest and you're on the move. Any other questions on that basis? Okay.
Nope.
All right.
I'm back.
As you guys are getting a little bit patched up, though, there is a strange occurrence. A slight shimmer appears in your mist, and a rather young but attractive, she seems teenagish, long blonde hair, wearing a complete white gownish robe, appears nearby. She's probably about 3 or 4 feet, and she appears not too far from Alec. You're quite shocked, gasp, but Alec will, in her gasping, will say, Precious? And Vivian seems to also know a little bit about her as well. She seems to recognize her and drop at ease. Precious will immediately go to her and say, Alec, I found your father. You need to come with me now. Alec's like, we have an important quest. We're close. We need to do this. Precious will again say, I will lose him if you do not come now. This is our chance. And Alec will look to you and say, my quest started looking for my father. I'm going to see what this is about, but I will try to come back with Precious as soon as I can. And Vivian kind of goes like, what about me? Precious like, I can only take her. So your contract will be, I'm sure, temporarily nullified at the moment until you're reacquainted. But this must happen now. She looks at you guys and says, apologizes, and then Precious, with a wave of her hand, disappears with Alec. And you guys are left stunned.
This is how offshoot series start. What the hell?
It's challenging.
Uh,
I turn to Vivian and say, I know you were here because of her, and we are about to wade into the most dangerous fight of our lives. If you choose to walk away, I would understand.
Vivian looks at you and she takes a noticeably deep breath. She goes, I definitely started wanting to more or less get paid by the guild for watching those heroes. I definitely was excited because I felt they had gotten to a dragon treasure. I felt that this was a way for me to get out of the life, like we had talked about. I didn't think anyone would treat me differently until I met you. And now that I've gotten to know you, I know we are quite different, and I'm not really sure how it all is supposed to work out. But after what happened in that last fight, I don't normally fight, and that possession was different. I can't apologize enough for what happened, and I'm gonna stick by you guys. I want to stick by you, Hephaestus. I don't want to take off. I don't want to leave.
You owe me no apologies. What happened was not of your free will. And as far as how this ends, it ends with your hand in mine.
Well, I won't leave you, and I won't stab you in the back anymore, I promise. All right. After about a little gathering up, Lucky will say, all right, guys, it's time for us to move.
All right.
Yes, Drusilla to take point. She takes point. You guys will start following suit. Hephaestus and Jew are pretty much not too far behind Drusilla, probably about 8 feet.
Okay.
Again, who can see in
Jokingly, I nudge Jew. Notice how Vivian apologized for being possessed.
even has and Ghost not apologizing.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Uh,
I cannot see in the dark to answer your question. I am but a regular human.
all right.
I got my goggles.
Okay, so you're good. I'm having technical difficulty with the camera because I was messing around with it earlier.
I'm more than good in the dark, but I'll I'll create a light or two for like Pepper and those who need it. I don't know if light. Hold on a second.
I do have.
I can only cast one. Every time I cast a new one, the old one turns off. So I can create a torch type light for somebody.
The, uh, Lucky is asking that you do not really use the light until we need it.
It's probably a
Yeah,
good
I mean,
point. They'll probably
can cast-
see us.
I can cast dark vision on myself so I can see in the dark. It
Okay,
lasts for 8 hours.
that's what Pepper's gonna do. She's gonna cast dark vision on herself.
All right, I'll do the same.
Okay.
Can HK see in the dark?
HK cannot.
And so that will just leave Hephaestus and Vivian, who cannot see.
And HK.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fast.
Der. I can. Oh wait, I don't know if I can cast it on 2 people at the same time.
You can cast it a second one. Pepper will take care of Vivian. If you take care of Hephaestus, that will make sure
Okay.
now can see it.
Yeah, I think I don't think I need to concentrate on it.
No.
It's 8 hours.
It's gonna be 2 spell slots.
Yep. Oh my! Using up these 2nd level slots quick. Stupid eyes.
I'm still pretty beat up, by the way.
You are beat up?
Oh yeah.
Well, you took a short rest. Did you use any of your
Yeah, did you hit
Yeah.
your dice?
hit dice?
I did.
Okay.
I didn't want to use them all though.
All right. So how many hit points are you down?
I'm 47 of 68, so I should say pretty beat up. I'm more than half, but
All right. Yeah, you're near it.
I'm still.
I'm good.
All right. Cool. All right then. So now everyone can see you guys are walking along, following with dark vision. So it is still very shadowy. Dark vision is much different in 5th edition now, just in case you're a little curious at how that's going. The shadows are still going to be very predominant, making it still for hidden things to still be very well hidden. You're able to navigate through with things being more or less outlined, or as if it was low light vision, low light settings. Okay. Anybody want to do anything special while you guys are following Drusilla?
Just follow along. Try to be cognizant of what's going on around me, actively attentive to what we're coming up on.
Okay.
Getting used to this whole dark vision thing, because I've never experienced it before.
All right. Lee, just make sure you're talking pretty heavily in your mic.
Okay.
Yell at us.
Your mic gets quiet when you're away. Okay, so you guys are following through. Things go pretty well. Probably like after about a few hours, you guys kind of get by. There is a bit of a river. Check my area real quick.
Oh, Ben, for an FYI, my dark vision is 120 feet. Just to
Yes. Okay.
put that out
Over
there.
everybody else.
He sees farther than the average bear.
He does. He's an angel.
Well, you got me beat. I'm at 60 with my goggles.
Yep.
My little night vision. Solid snake. What's your shirt say, Lee?
When the DM smiles, it's too late.
All right. For about 3 to 4 hours, you guys make your travel up. You guys do come across a small stream of water that is in the area. There used to be some activity there, so you'll see some tracks and stuff, but it doesn't look like anybody's been there for at least a while. You make your passage through. The areas of this area is very jagged. It looks like things have been kind of carved through, maybe by a worm or some other type of digging type of creature, but it is large enough that, it's definitely a passable area, and it's maintained that way for some time. It's definitely aged. Nothing too recent.
Lucky, can you make sure you notify us when we've gone beyond the furthest point your group has ever gone?
Well, where we're going, we've been on the outskirts of the Drow City, so
Okay.
we know where we're going.
Okay.
It's just what is there changes. The Drow know how to ambush and things, and creatures very similar do the same thing. So
Gotcha.
that's
Okay.
why I got Drusilla leading.
Okay.
So you guys go through some tunnels. You see a lot more little networks. Things kind of branch off. Drusilla continues to glide you through. You don't have any difficulty in moving through the flooring, although eaten through, carved through by natural situation, it's still level enough. You guys do pretty well. How stealthily are you guys all trying to be?
I'm a giant metal robot.
Yeah, as stealthy as can be.
Cool.
I mean, we're not like tromping through, knocking shit over.
Not
Well, there's nothing really to knock over, but you are in a tunnel with rocks on a hard surface, so it sort of makes noise. If you
yeah.
don't try to.
I make noise whether I want to or not.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to go through the point of slowing down my pace to try to be stealthy and then do so poorly anyway. I'm
Yep.
just going to do my best to not purposely make noise.
Okay. All right then. So you guys will continue on, just moving along. Drusilla has the pace. The rest of the gamblers move in and out, holding spots. Kip and Boulder are pretty much nearby in the middle, and then you don't see much of Rose. She seems to hold the back, zipping in and out from the sides when she needs to be.
So
Rutland,
all of the gamblers apparently have the ability to see in the dark in some way or another.
yes.
It must be a newer model than HK.
All right.
Mm.
You make a passage up, and then Drusilla holds you guys up for a little bit. It's about a 10-minute as she kind of peers up. As she then slowly allows you guys to move forward, you will start to notice an old mining railway. Looks like it's been battered. It heads off in two different directions, straight, and one to the left, to your right. She kind of checks around. The area, you can see that it hasn't been used. You're dating decades of wear on it. It's definitely been going a while. There's no other explanation by the gamblers, but you can definitely tell that this has not been an upkeep area. The walls now changed to be very clean. So they've been cut out pretty well in stone. You guys are not unfamiliar with the dwarven works that you just left out of Forstad, so it seems very similar that this was cut by dwarves many, many years ago, centuries probably from that aspect. It's held up really well, except the aging of the railway for the carts. She kind of leads you guys to the right side, and then she seems to be very hesitant about moving forward, seems to be peering, and then she kind of holds you guys, takes a few steps back towards Hephaestus and Jew, and she says, "You are hearing what I'm hearing, right? Both of you will need to take perception checks, please."
Q says, huh? What?
Jew, you're muted.
I got a 5.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I
no.
got a total of 10.
10. Jew,
Not a 10.
10, worse than 10. So you guys are really
8.
kind of hearing your own breathing kind of pretty well from the walking,
What?
pretty much. And she's looking. She's like, I said, I think we have trouble. You two hold up here. She kind of drifts back to Oleski, Alarian, Lucky, and she says, I think we're running into a war. There's really no other way to go.
Into a what?
A warband. I hear a lot of feet coming. Over 20.
Is there any way to better position ourselves so we can deal with them?
Well, they have numbers. We need to hold tight to the corridor. If you go out to something that's larger, then we're in trouble.
Is there any way of flanking them and setting up an ambush?
Not
How big is it?
moving?
Tunnel's pretty big, huh?
Well, the tunnel goes a ways. It's about 90 to 100 feet across, wide. I mean, and then it's gonna go on for a while, like the football field length.
90 feet
Well,
across?
section
That's a
we're
big
in.
X.
That's a
Yeah,
large
it's
tunnel. Yeah.
How wide is the section we're in?
It's about the one you're in right now is about 50 feet across. It's kind of opening into a larger tunnel.
So
We could try to get them to funnel in, and then if Alaron or someone can flank a little bit and just hit fireball or something massive to try to do enough damage. Because even 50 feet, that's going to put at least 4 or 5 across.
it'll lessen their numbers if we stay here.
Yeah.
I might ask, and obviously you don't know the answer specifically, but a warband of what? What might be we encountering here in this area?
Some type of goblins, orcs, something. They're slaves. They're slave warriors. They're being driven by the drow. I just don't know how many drow, what house of drow. The warband is going to be relatively organized from your probably common surface ones, but they will fight pretty fanatically because they know what lies if they fail.
We need to just make sure we're not flanked by them. However we decide to set up, we need to set up in a way that they cannot get behind us.
I know you're pretty familiar with this area, but I did purchase a map that is supposed to cover the 10-mile area around the city. Perhaps it shows something that we could use.
You see a lot of the mine network. I mean, this is the thing about it. You can tell where they're kind of coming from. But it's really, unless you want to hit and then break off back to the riverbed area, you could do that. But
I don't want them to chase us. I think we'll get caught out.
right. And Lucky doesn't really like the water situation. He'd rather hold ground in area. These are orcs. It's gonna be a fight, but again, the idea is to kind of hold off with them, beat them off. We got the warriors, and then just try to find the drow leadership. Once we get that out of play, they don't typically stick around from that. So that's really the maneuver base that he can suggest to you.
So this is where I'm going to look at Pepper and say, if through our actions we can identify where the drow are, we're going to have to count on you to take them out of play, or at least, and then Alaron will need you to fire on Pepper's marks.
Yeah.
So
She nods. Will do.
a softening blow to their front rank, so they're a little softer as they come at us. We'll form up and take them on, and the rest of you just take your shots when they're your shots. Whoever identifies the drow, point them out.
Yep.
Obviously, Jew, myself, and Uben would work best in the front line. Which of the gamblers will stand the front line with us?
You'll have Boulder. So right now I've got Jew, Boulder, Hephaestus, and Ubin all in the front. That leaves the rest of you guys kind of behind them. There's really you can push out a little bit more further, but that puts a little bit more of a flank, or I mean a slight flank on either Ubin and Hephaestus. If you hold to this tunnel right now, they can only run right into you.
All right. So I think we put Boulder on the left side of our front line.
Mm-hmm.
Jew and then myself and then Ubin on my right. With Jew and I the 5-foot step forward so that we're kind of forming almost like a curved front line. It'll make it harder for them to get around us, I think, and give us extra attacks of opportunity. If the four of us are spaced 5 feet apart, that should funnel them, and then have the next line be our range fighters 10 feet back off of us,
Okay.
but filling in the gaps, if that makes any sense.
Yep. So this will be your front line.
Yeah.
So Ubin, Hephaestus, Jew. That's Boulder there.
Yeah.
You got Vivian behind you. Aleski, Alarian, Pepper right behind Aleski.
Yeah.
Hiding there is John. And then behind that is your other remnants of the
I don't want to
gamblers.
risk. Yeah. I was gonna say I don't want to risk John, but do you think Aleski he should go in and go high to help us spot our targets? He can relay that information to you, then you can tell our ranged attackers.
Well, Jean doesn't really have any ability to see in the dark, so he would be fairly limited down here.
Okay.
Well, I mean, once we make contact, someone can cast light so we can see at that point. I mean, they already know we're here. There's no sense of trying to.
And quite honestly, the drow will put that out, but that's an ability they're not using against us if they're putting out light.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're all good with that. You hear the stomps coming. It's coming pretty quickly. The noise. You guys now can hear. It sounds like a lot of feet coming at you.
All right. Tower shield ready. Spear ready.
Okay. At this point, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Ooh. That's a natural 20 for a 21 initiative.
Damn. You are ready.
A natural 11 for a 13 initiative.
I've got advantage on initiative, and I didn't even get 11 with the 2 rolls combined.
Well, you're hot tonight, Joe.
I'm saving mine for combat this time.
Good.
Remember
Good,
last
good.
time I rolled a 20 on initiative. We all rolled 20s on initiative, and then I got
You get
possessed.
possessed by a ghost again?
Yeah,
What did you roll?
5
5.
twice.
You need to save that for your
At, where are you
wisdom
at?
saves.
I'm at 9
9.
total.
Okay.
Lightning quick punch.
Still acting before me. Oh God.
Okay. Hephaestus, you're the first one up. So
Kill them all.
If they are not in range, I'm going to rest the spear and throw a javelin at them.
you don't see anybody yet.
Huh?
You're too quick.
Oh, in that case, I'm gonna have the spear kind of at the ready, but I'm prepared to throw a javelin as soon as I see a ranged combatant.
Okay. Gamblers are on hold. And we go to Alarion. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna hold. I'm not gonna go ahead of everybody.
Okay. You gonna hold? You holding a spell to throw, or
Yeah.
which spell?
Oh, I have to pick which spell.
You do have to choose what you're going to do on hold. You don't have a free reign of on hold actions.
All right, I'm just gonna be. I don't have to cast it if I
You don't
don't.
have to cast it. You can you just got to choose what you're preparing to unleash when you see whatever you decide is your trigger.
1 second. Which one of these is better? I'm gonna get dispel magic.
Okay. Aleski, you are next. What are you doing?
So we feel they're imminently upon us, but they haven't shown up yet.
Yeah.
Then I'll cast Blade Ward on myself this turn.
Okay. You have Blade Ward going on. And then the orcs show up. How far can you throw your weapon, Hephaestus?
Lee, you're totally muted, but not through Zoom.
Yeah, I think you disconnected your mic earlier when you messed around with it. We're not hearing you at all. Nope. Check your on Zoom. Make sure that your Zoom thing picked up the right audio.
Is that any better?
Yep, we got
Yep.
Okay. All right. So a javelin will go 30 total feet.
30 total feet.
Yep.
So right here, this box is your zone thing. Okay.
That box. Okay.
All right. So the first orc will. These first orcs will get to that one point where you're allowed to get. Now you'll be able to be in your range to throw. They're still on the move.
All right. First orc in range is I'm gonna put him down with the javelin.
Okay. Fire away.
That's gonna be a 20 to hit,
That's a hit.
and that's gonna be an 8 to damage.
All right.
Second attack.
You don't get your second attack on reactions. You just get one.
Okay.
Then they will follow up. But this took all their moves to get up here. Okay. That is what we're initially saying at all.
It's a couple of people.
That's just a few.
You get the ones on the left, HK. I'll get the ones on the right.
There you go.
Sounds like a plan.
The optimism.
You don't have to cover every square.
It's a big tunnel. You know? There's a lot of work. These guys have played with me in Alanis. They know what this is all about. This is not new to Lee and to Matt.
In fact, I'm actually reserving comment because I know how bad this could actually get.
Wait, I can't see his face. Is he smiling?
I assume he is,
With this battle plan in front of us, he's been smiling for 2 days.
at least.
The question is, did he
It's been a
contact
month.
Mark or not?
It's been a month. All right. Orcs have showed up. Now we go to Jew. Jew, what are you doing?
Are we gonna hold this tunnel or are we?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so I will hold and prep for the oncoming rush.
Okay. You are the last.
Actually, they just moved, right?
That's their
Hold
full
on.
move.
Yeah, that's their full move. I take that back. I am going to drink the potion that I have.
Ooh, what do you have?
Wait, not saving it, huh?
No, it's because it's a potion of healing.
Calls it a potion. It's a lager.
It's a lager.
No,
You actually
yeah,
it's for him to make lager.
it's a lager of healing.
Aren't they
No,
all?
Okay.
Yeah, potion of healing. So what does that give for?
Is that what level
Is
is
it
that?
just
It was just a basic.
Um,
I think I bought it like one of the first.
I think it was a
First
greater
sessions or
potion of
two.
healing that you have, because I have one.
Was it? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't log
the
it.
one I have is a greater potion of healing.
okay, where's
It's
that 40?
it's 4d4 plus 4.
There you go. Roll that. 4d4 plus 4. Then you can add it until you heal your character. Then I will go back to
17.
Hephaestus. So basically nothing else is really kind of triggered for anybody.
Sweet.
All right. And there's
Alright.
still a distance. Is that 10 feet in front of me, Ben?
Yep, they're about a little like 11 feet.
I'm in
Okay.
good shape now.
I'm gonna throw 2 javelins.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Where'd my javelins go? Hang on 1 second. It's gonna be a 9.
You missed. He blocks it with his shield.
And that's gonna be a 22.
Second one hits.
And that's gonna be a 7.
The guy drops to a knee.
Okay. And I didn't say it. Was that the same one I hit before?
Yeah, I'm assuming you're going after the one.
Yeah. Okay.
He's in knee, huffing badly.
All right. With my item interaction, I'm going to grab my spear.
Okay. You're ready.
So I'm shield 4, spear grabbed. I still have a bonus action and a reaction.
All right. You gonna use a bonus action?
Not at this time. I may need it, depending on what happens. Oh, actually, yeah. Well, I guess I do need to figure that out.
Yeah, you gotta use your bonus now.
Hang on 1 second. No, he's not in melee, so I've got nothing for my bonus action right now. I'm not using my maneuvers just yet.
You still have your move action as well. You could move up, strike, and fall back if you want to give attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, I'm not looking to do that just yet.
Assuming that none of them have Sentinel.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I'm not looking to do that. I'm not testing those waters just yet.
Yeah, orcs, Lee. You think I'm giving that? Be that dirty?
Yes, I do. In fact, think that is a possibility.
Okay. All right. So you're holding off. We'll go to some of the gamblers here. Drusilla will fire. She will drop one of the orcs as 2 arrows go into his throat and head. She's got that. The other ones are holding back. Oh, let's see. And Boulder will hold his action as well, except one thing he's going to do though, he's going to go into a rage, so he's not he can take some damage. All right, Alarin, Firebrand, it is you.
Yeah, I can't do anything. So nothing to dispel. So pass.
Yep. So yeah, it doesn't count as casted. Does not use up a spell slot.
Yep. Just in case those pesky drow tried something.
All right.
You still holding on to it, or you want to cast something else?
No, I had to. That was the only one I could do, right?
No, you can. It's your turn now, so you can.
Oh, it's like,
You can
okay.
not. You're back to your active action, so you can do all your choices for active actions.
Okay. How many guys are? What's about the halfway point where there's half of the guys on one side and half of the bad guys on the other side?
This is about the center if you're looking for that part of it.
No, I'm looking for about the halfway, like a line straight across that would have half of them in the front, half of them in the back.
Oh,
Probably that line, that's the 30-foot line.
yeah, it's probably like right there. From there.
Okay, I'm going to cast a wall of force right there.
Okay.
And it's it could be made up of 10 foot by 10 foot panels. So based on the dimensions you already gave us, it can go from wall to wall.
Yep.
And up 100 feet as well.
Okay. So.
And that's going to cut off the guys in the back from the guys in the front.
You're gonna block this area amount here.
Yep.
Wall.
And it's a quarter of an inch thick, lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
The wall cuts through any creature. I can pick which side they go on, but I just wanted to cut it in half. Nothing physical can pass through the wall. It's immune to all damage and can't be dispelled by dispel magic. A disintegrate spell destroys the wall instantly. However, the wall extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall.
Okay. All right. And how high did it go up?
100 feet.
100 feet. All right.
It's 10 foot by 10 foot panels.
Yeah.
So it can be 100 by 100.
All right. So you've sealed off the rest of them. The rest of the orcs will hold by. And the orcs will come up.
As they move up, I want to use my sentinel reaction to stop one.
Not only as if they leave your zone.
Oh, okay.
All right. The rest of these orcs are all gonna now hold down.
Is my volume coming through?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Jew drank a potion. Boulder held one attack. He will hit and drop an orc. Ruben, I need to roll Ruben's initiative. Ubin will also severely wound an orc as well. And Pepper will hit fired. All right, so using reaction, she will wound an orc as well. All right, orcs attack down the line. Where's AC? So miss. Drew, you're attacked. You are missed. Close. HK, you are 21 or 22, AC.
22.
You were also missed. Your shield blocks. And the orc misses Ubin. So the rest are all pushing behind. The other orcs are blocked off. Jude, it is now your turn. You're muted.
Yay, I said. Woo.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'm raging.
All right.
Let me find my actions. All right, I'm just gonna go for the first one in front of me.
Okay. So right.
Great sword. So the rage, nothing to hit, but plus on the damage side. Okay, so first swing, 17.
That's a hit.
And the +3, 17 damage.
17.
Yep.
Slice him in half.
Nice.
Okay.
Is there one that's
Oh yeah, they're all over you. So you have a second attack. You got one next to you.
yeah, okay, I'll just hack the next one in line. Oh shit. That's a straight up 1
That's a miss.
plus my bonus. So that was a critical miss. And was that one more?
And then you can use a bonus action to make one more attack.
Yeah, I might as well use that. And okay, so I got excited because I chopped the first guy in half, and I think I celebrated for the next 2 turns because I just rolled 2 1s in a row. Yeah!
A digital
Did you
one?
see that? HK!
Holy Lord. All right. Hephaestus is back to you with full actions.
All right.
Don't I get to go this
Oh.
round?
I missed you. I'm sorry. Aleski, go ahead.
All right. Don't step
Yeah,
forward
technically
into the
he's
light.
supposed to go before me.
Don't step forward into the light. I'm gonna cast a spell called Sickening Radiance. I'm gonna cast it 6 squares up into the room. So basically, it's got a 30-foot radius. So I want the front edge to be along our front line, but not touching our front line.
Okay. So it's going to get all these guys that's behind them.
Yeah.
All right.
So nothing happens immediately. But a dim greenish light spreads within a 30-foot radius sphere centered on a point I choose. So that's that 6 squares into the room there.
Okay.
The light spreads around corners and it lasts until the spell ends. So it's a concentration up to 10 minutes. When a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn from there, that creature must succeed on a Constitution DC 15 saving throw. Or take 4d10 radiant damage, suffer 1 level of exhaustion, and emit a dim greenish light in a 5-foot radius, which it makes it impossible for the creature to benefit from being invisible.
All right. So when their turn starts, they take this damage? Is that what I just...
No, whenever a creature moves into the light or starts their turn in the light.
Yeah. So it'll be them. Okay.
Yep. So wiggity. Whoop.
There it is. That's going to be fun. All right. So get prepared to have all that damage being rolled, Matt, because that's going to happen probably in a little bit. Hephaestus?
Was I okay.
I'm going to use Catharos, the silvered spear warning, and stab for a grand total of. I'm adding my precision maneuver, so I can add a D8 to that roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 13.
Just hit.
Oh, sweet! I'm glad that was a great use of one of my maneuver slots.
So you didn't look bad.
Yep. And that's gonna be. Give me a second. I look bad because the damage was terrible. 7.
All right, he's wounded in front of you.
You got to use the pointy end.
I'm going to hit him again.
Okay.
Much better at a 22.
Hit again.
And also a 7.
Okay, he's down to a knee.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to hit him with the butt end.
All right.
Hello. All right. Hang on 1 second. Butt end of the spear. Poof. That's going to miss.
Okay. Him dropping to a knee kind of took you off balance.
Yep.
All right. Firebrand, what are you doing?
Well, them suckers are looking right for a fireball.
They're
They
also
are.
probably going to take a lot of damage already from Alessi too. You see something behind
Yeah.
already going to affect him.
I'll just, I will cast. I'll just cast Firebolt on him then.
Yep.
I guess you can just pick a random one.
There are many.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna try to point one out.
You can pick
on
one
the,
that's on
the
his team.
screen.
That's a
I
hit.
could. All right. All right. So 19 on the die. So that's definitely a hit.
Mhm.
10 and is 11 damage.
Okay. One orc is severely damaged. He drops to a knee.
That's it.
Lee, I get a question for you in the chat.
Were you asking?
That was me.
Oh, okay. Matt, back to you, Alessi.
All right, at this point, I'm going to maintain the concentration on the spell, and I'm going to launch an Eldritch Blast out into the horde of orcs.
Yeah.
I'm just going to concentrate on one, so both bolts at one orc because I don't think they're that weak. So,
Right.
Let's see here. I think I'm +7, so let me double check that. Geez, can't. Where is it? Yes, +7. So 17 to hit and 25 to hit.
Oh yeah, those hit.
So 14 points of damage.
Okay, one drops to a knee. All right. Vivian will cut the throat of the one that was in front of you down on the knee.
Yep.
So that one. Drusilla wounds another orc in your front ranks. Ubin will cut that one that is wounded from Drusilla down. And and Pepper will wound one in your front rank. So a number of orcs are wounded from your encountered group here. Oh, need Boulder. And Boulder wounds one in front of him. He's down on knees. So a lot of orcs on the front ranks are down on their knees.
Ben, can I shout something out?
Yes.
Second rank, take out the wounded ones.
Okay. What is your DC for your con? The con save, Matt?
DC 15.
Well, what was the damage?
4d10 on any that doesn't save, plus a level of exhaustion.
Roll,
Plus they glow.
roll it.
Well, it's 4d10 for each one that saves, so I assume it's separate damage for each one.
No, just roll it in group.
You want me to do group damage? Okay.
We'll be here all night doing that.
For the record, Matt, you're supposed to roll one and say, okay, first, if it's bad, say first one is X, and then roll the second one. You're not supposed to.
Hey, don't
Words of wisdom for everyone watching.
Yeah. And if it's great damage, you say, okay, just to save time, I'm going to do group.
So 16 radiant damage would be the roll.
From 30 feet. All right. They all drop dead.
Smobic.
Worth it, Trace.
Lexi's been holding out on us. What the?
Now what would you like to do?
Yeah. Good job, second rank.
I'm gonna hug Alexi.
Front row's clear.
Front row's clear. Good job, back row. All
got
they're all
one.
gasping and sick and gagging and all turning ugly on you and shit. So
All right, so I can hold that wall for up to 10 minutes. So let me know when everybody is ready for me to what you guys want to do.
Can you
figure out
shape the
anything.
wall, or can you just release the wall?
Let me look it up. I don't know if I can shape it after I've shaped it already.
Because if you can shape it, just tunnel it to us.
Yeah.
Keep the rank that we're holding.
Yeah, keep it to just like a long tunnel.
Yeah.
The longer we leave it up, the more time the drow have to figure out a strategy.
Do you got another one of those spells where you just nuke everybody? Napalm.
It's free floating, but it doesn't say anything if you can shape it after or not.
Yeah, probably not then.
I would assume no. Let it rip.
All
Unless
right,
we're
everybody
ready.
ready?
We're
I mean,
ready.
you
They're
can-
not. Time
You
to
can
let them
time
go.
it, drop it, cast whatever spells we got for range, do as much damage, and then let them come through, and then we can clean up the rest.
I think that would be up to Ben if we could time it with initiative
And we still
for
have a
casting
few,
spells.
we've got a few of the Lucky's team with us. We could technically probably go in, but I think they still have.
Well,
one of
no,
us.
we probably want them to come to us because we're at a choke point.
Ben, I'm gonna lean back to Vivian.
how long does this last?
I can hold it up to 10 minutes.
Okay, so you're good.
So if they rush into it, then
they're
they're
gonna
going to
be
be
wounded
affected
by
by it.
that. Yes.
I dropped the wall then while that's still up.
I just wanted, before you do that, I'm leaning back to Vivian. I'm going to point out the order of merit. So, like, I'm going to pick an orc right of center as we're looking at the map, Ben, as we're facing the map.
Yep.
And the one closest to the center, but on the right of that center line.
Yep.
And then that's going to be target one, and I'm going to basically go target one, target two to the right, and then the next rank behind target one, target two in the same fashion. So that way Vivian knows who I'm going after.
Okay.
And anybody in the second rank, if you're looking at who to take down, that's who I'm going after in order.
All right.
You got it, big fella.
So
And
everyone,
I'm gonna arrest the spear and prepare the javelin once again.
okay, so everyone is preparing to take on the onrush. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Yep.
All right. You dropping the wall now? Yes.
Yep.
All right. That sets off a reaction.
Unleash hell.
All of a sudden, something just kind of manifests in amongst in all your group. You guys will all need to take Constitution save. I believe. Yes.
Oh shit.
Is it poison, Ben?
It is.
Okay, I have advantage on that.
Okay.
Oh, net 20, boy.
All right. Good for you.
That's probably the only one I'm gonna roll all damn night, but probably a good time, I guess.
It is a good time.
Designation HK reports 21 Constitution save.
Cool.
Woo! Well, mine was a 22 if I added the bonus. just so you know.
Just so you know, I have a reroll if I had failed.
I don't need one this time. Every other time, yeah, I failed.
I'm at a 13.
13. Okay. Jew.
12.
12. All right. Check everybody else.
Wait, do I?
All right. Everybody will take 10 points of poison damage. Jean will disappear from the damage he took.
He died from 10 points?
So everybody who saved takes 10?
Still take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
That's half.
And now we're considered poisoned?
If you pass, I think you're okay, but those that failed, not.
There's definitely drow with them. Not that Alaron has ever encountered drow before or knows what he's talking about.
Was 12 a pass or fail?
Yes, you are a pass. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's why I
So
said
do
everybody. No one else. No one specifically. Everyone did make the pass.
Hey,
okay,
Ben.
So do I not take damage then?
No, you take 10.
damage. Everybody takes 10 damage.
And I have poison
Oh.
resistance, so I only take 5.
Correct. You take 5.
So take damage but not consider poisoned. Yeah.
Correct.
Correct. So everyone should have taken 10 points of damage. Hephaestus takes 5 points of damage. Nobody's
Ow.
considered another poison damage for that. Then I have a couple other things I got to do here. All right. Then pretty much, we'll shoot. Boulder gets hit by a couple of by a dart, but he seems to be okay. And then everybody can no longer see. It all turns black on you.
Well, I can see fine.
Nope. You can see.
Yep.
You can see with magical darkness.
Yes, I can.
All right. So you're the only one that can see what is happening right now. Everybody else is blinded in darkness. Okay. Starting the top of the round, Hephaestus, what are you going to do?
I had my target picked, so I'm going to loose with the javelin. I do
Okay.
recognize it's at disadvantage.
All right, so throw.
I'm going to go for another precision. And yeah, I'm going to miss this time. That's going to be an 11.
Okay.
And second attack, also at disadvantage.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's going to miss at a 10.
Okay. The darkness gets you. You don't even know exactly what pretty much happened. How many javelins do you have on your person?
I believe it's 5, but it might be 4. I'm checking that right now.
Okay, because that might have been your last.
I have a total of 5. So I threw 1 the first round, and I just threw 2.
Yeah, but you threw 2
I have
more.
2 more.
You threw 2 more in that initial front group. Remember, you had 1 reaction.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then
Okay, so that's it. I'm out.
you're out. All right. Gamblers. Drusilla will plug one of the orcs in front. He is wounded. The others are still holding back there. You know that. Wow. Rutley dispels the fog, the cloud kill that you guys are rolling, as he calls upon Ares to clear the area. So you're clear of that now.
Save me a spell.
She's gonna go hide in shadows.
So
we can
what
see.
exactly did he do?
Dispel magic on the cloud kill.
Yeah.
And you. So now next. With that gone, you guys are gonna need another spell check. All right, I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws. Not yet. Hold it.
Oh, you're good, buddy.
All right, basically you start
You're the
seeing
best.
large black tentacles sprout all around your area.
Spaghetti monster.
And your spell thing disappears.
Where's the
That
black
being
tentacle
dispelled.
thing?
Yeah, that's the radiant.
Hold on. I can cast, oh, wait, I don't know. Forget it. I don't know where they are, so I can't do anything.
Counter spell?
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't seen them quite yet.
Yeah.
Okay, those of them. It took me a couple take a shots. Hephaestus, you take a bolt to your shield, but no effect to you. Jew, you take 5 points of damage. That's resisted. So that's half that damage from another coral.
Ow.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
It's poison.
Poison. Poison.
18.
Those damn hand crossbows.
Yeah, you are good. All right, that is there. Where do we go next? We go to Alarian. Start of your turn. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, sorry, guys. That's a 7.
Okay.
I should have tied my shoes.
Ooh. So you take 14 bludgeoning damage, and you right now are considered restrained.
Oof.
So you are not moving.
Who took that?
Hey.
That's from the Avard's Black
There.
Tentacles.
Ugh.
This is restrained. Just means you can't move
Correct.
without having to look it up. Okay.
You can do strength and a dex to try to get out of it. But right now you don't even know what's going on because you are in darkness.
I thought he dispelled the.
The Avard's Black Tentacles. He didn't do the darkness yet.
Oh, I thought that's what he did.
I
He dispelled
I
the darkness so
dispelled-
we could see.
No,
I
he
dispelled the
just
cloud kill.
cloud kill. There was 2 spell effects that were happening.
Oh, okay.
3 if you count Alexi's.
So what would you like to do with your turn?
I can still cast spells.
Just where if it needs line of sight though, that's your only issue right now.
Yeah, but I can dispel magic
You can't do that.
to get rid of this. Is it third level or lower?
Bard is not. It's fourth level.
Okay, so then I have to
Roll.
make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
So you're 14.
Yep, 17.
All right.
I dispel it.
So the Varge is now gone.
And that was a dispel magic.
Okay.
Third level.
Rico, I left something in chat.
All right. Oleski.
Sorry.
Screams of Orcs.
So I'm just gonna fire a couple of Eldritch Blast bolts right down the line, right into the mix down there,
Okay.
targeting one guy, because I can't really see any dangers behind them. Right, we're still not seeing, even though they're casting spells and stuff.
Correct.
We're not seeing any drow yet.
Not yet.
So 13 points of force damage.
Hit. Roll damage.
That was it. 13 points of force damage.
Oh, 13 points of damage. He is wounded. Anything else?
Well, I'm gonna. Where am I standing currently?
Right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna hug the wall and kind of shield Pepper a little bit to give her something to fire from behind, so to speak.
Okay.
I still can't see a target. I can't see them. They're out there somewhere.
Yeah.
There's at least probably one wizard and one cleric.
Yes. All right. The orcs will now charge. They will get to the line, but run out of attacks. Okay. Back to the top. All right, Hephaestus. You're muted again. By your choice.
Yeah, sorry about that. I still can't see. Is that correct?
Yeah, you just give me a perception check at disadvantage.
17. Disadvantage. I'm sorry, 15.
You do know the orcs have come up on you. You can smell them, feel the presence, hot air, they're screaming, the yelling and all that stuff. You still know you're engaged. You've been in these situations before. So
All right.
you kind of know you're in darkness, you know you're in drow darkness, but you are engaged by the orcs.
That's going to be a 12 with Catharos, the Silvered Spear.
You are fighting blind, so it's disadvantage.
That was the disadvantage.
So, all right, so you hear it clang against a shield.
All right.
And don't think you hit strong.
Yep. And I will make my second attack. And yeah, that's going to miss, but I'll butt end it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all misses.
All
I
right,
am not doing well in the dark.
you're just hitting against the shields.
Yep.
Okay,
Hopefully,
gambler.
I'm making enough noise so people know that they're on us.
All right, gamblers are holding back, trying to figure out what they're gonna do. We got here. What level is? Okay, I think he's got it. All right, yeah, they'll just hold back. Drow again. You feel something hit your shield again, Hephaestus, but to no danger. Jew, you take another 5 points of piercing damage. That's again half because you're raging.
Ouch.
Aleski, you see something shifting in the darkness that doesn't seem to be quite what darkness is. But it has appeared behind Hephaestus.
Is that an opportunity for an attack of opportunity?
No. He hasn't moved out of any zone. He just appeared in the zone. So if he moves and if he took off, then you'd have an attack of opportunity. Or if you had a certain other type of reaction from a feed. That's what you see out of that. It will now go to you, Aleski. Yes, Alarion. Sorry, Alarion, you're next. Then Aleski. You're muted, Jake.
Sorry, muted. So the voice screams aren't heard. So with the banging that HK is making, I can approximate about where he is.
Yes.
All right, so I can approximate about 20 feet further than him and drop a fireball centered on that point.
Sweet. En fuego.
Indeed. It's okay if it's not exactly 20 feet because I can spell sculpt and protect these guys on the front line.
Yeah, it doesn't say you actually need to see. So
Oh.
you're gonna blast the front with any deck saves. Well, roll damage.
Oh. 18. 6. 35. And 41.
All right. Wizards.
Shouldn't pack up so closely.
Little horde, Jacob. What do you want to do? All right, you hear screams, fire. There's definitely smells of burnt flesh going on with that. You still didn't see anything. The fire was still distinguished by the darkness. Aleski, what are you doing?
Do I see that figure standing in the middle of the room out there, or is that just
Yeah, I put him out there because you're the only one who can see.
what does it look like? Is it an orc? Is it
It's a drow.
It is a guy, okay, or a person of some kind, okay. Well, I got to deal with this guy among us. So I call out. There's one among us, and I thrust forward with my my dagger and cast Green Flame Blade on whatever appeared in among us.
Okay.
So that is make a melee attack. So 24 to hit.
Hit.
All right. So it takes the dagger damage and then a D8 plus. Is it? Spellcasting modifier. So D8 plus 3 plus 3, D8 plus 6. So D4, D8. God. No, I suck. I suck so bad.
Hey, you see him and hit him at least. That's bonus.
So the dagger does 3 points of damage.
Okay.
No, excuse me, 4 points. I rolled a 1.
Okay.
And then the flame does 2 plus 6, 8 points of fire damage.
Okay.
So 4 points of sticky damage, 8 points of fire damage.
You hit it. It seems to sizzle a bit, but he's still pretty intent. Remaining orcs. They bang up against all you guys, but they can't see in the darkness either. So
those ones took half damage from the firebolt or the fireball.
You have no idea. You can't even see them. But
Okay.
overall, they weren't quite in your spell. No.
All right, on a 20-foot radius spell.
But
Those guys weren't in.
you were guessing.
Oh, okay.
You're guessing where you were. So you think you put it pretty much far enough where it was, but your pinpoint wasn't as accurate because you have no idea where
Did the drow in the back take a test? Because if it went that far back, he would have been in it.
Could have been. All right. So orcs are banging against you guys' front ranks. That's Jew, Hephaestus and stuff. You feel these weapons banging against your bodies and stuff, but they can't see either, so there's no real pressure going on from you from there. And Hephaestus is back to you.
All
Wait,
right.
I didn't get it.
I missed you. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you last.
you missed Jew.
So Jew, you
Yeah.
were last. Go ahead.
I can't see shit, so I'm just gonna chop everything in front of me.
All right, so you can fight recklessly, and that means you roll a straight dice this time, so not at disadvantage, and then just tell me what you get.
Reckless. Here we go.
But if you do that, any orcs that do survive will be doing the same thing to you.
Bring it.
They won't survive.
They won't survive. A 20.
Hit.
A natural. 16 damage.
Dead. Next attack.
24.
Hit.
Oh, that was a shitty roll. 9 damage.
He's very badly wounded. Not bad for shitty damage. Bonus attack.
21.
Hit again.
Ooh. That's a 19 damage.
Clear his head off. He's dead. All right. You feel blood and gore all over you. Orc screaming. Not really sure how well things were going. And of course, nobody saw your excellence because it was complete darkness.
They'll see the bodies.
Story of his life. Hephaestus, what are you doing?
I'm gonna attack in front of me where I sense that there's danger.
Okay, roll. Again, in disadvantage.
Ooh, yeah! 23.
Oh, wow. Hit.
Catharos bites deep. 14.
Okay, you feel something drop in front of you.
I'm gonna go where I sense there to be danger again.
Okay.
And that's gonna be a 10.
All right. You strike out, but you don't sense anything in front of you.
And I'm gonna butt end towards the danger again. That's going to be a 21.
Wow. All right. You back end and hit something in the backside.
And that's going to be 4 points of damage.
Okay. You feel like it hit resistance.
Okay.
Uh,
Vivian, watch your flank. Someone's behind us, according to Oleski.
she goes, I don't even know where my flank is.
Behind you.
Okay. No, see, you don't know what's happening. You think from that
Awesome.
point.
Awesome.
Good point.
All right. All right. This time, if Hephaestus and Jew, you're going to be the start of the first of these saving throws. No. All right, Jew, what would you like to be, odd or even?
I'm quite odd.
You're quite odd. All right. You will.
Even.
It was either going to be you or Hephaestus. It's going to be Jew.
Change my
Even.
mind. Change my
Even.
mind.
Give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Can I? Am I considered blinded, deafened, or incapacitated?
You are blinded for sure. You can't see.
Damn it! So I have advantage.
So you don't have advantage.
Dexterity. 13.
All right. That's good for you. All right, you take 13 points of electrical damage.
Electrical.
Yes.
The Underdark cattle prod.
Oleski, can you please give me a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, I can do that, I guess.
Thanks.
Pass.
Hell, I actually can. 19.
Oh, you will also
That was a 17 roll, though, so that was pretty awesome for me.
you will also take the same damage. Was a 13 points of damage. You take the same thing. Ooh.
Ooh.
You feel Pepper drop and her hand slide down your back as she hits the ground. Oh. And there's some obviously sounds of pain down the tunnel too. You, Oleski, saw lightning arc right down the whole part of the group from where you were standing.
Did I see where the lightning came from? That
You just felt it.
no.
You just felt it, Rico. You don't really know what's kind of going on. Okay. All right. Jew, Hephaestus, Oleski, and Alarion, please all make me Constitution saves.
Yeah. I'm running out of saves, guys. I got a 9.
Okay. You will take 11 damage from resistance.
I got the 9 as well.
You will take 22 points of damage, piercing damage.
Definitely oof.
Yeah,
HK,
I'm,
what did you roll?
I roll a Constitution or Dex.
Constitution.
And this is not poison.
No, it's not poison.
That's a 15.
All right, you just take 11 damage. And Alarian, Firebrand,
Oh, what do I need for a save?
Constitution.
That's it. 14.
You will take 22 points of damage.
Oof. Hey, Rutley, how about I dispel magic?
And this was from what?
You hear, you see, you're the only one that sees a number of like stinging insects and bugs that are all in your locusts. They're all in your area now. You guys all hear it. It's now becoming very difficult to hear in this darkness, but that's what's in the center of your area.
Yeah, hoping that hopefully this bad guy in the area takes it too.
He does take it, but he likes it a lot better. Okay. Ruben will drop the ones in front of him, but hurting. This one will drop one more in front of him. That's Boulder. Drusilla is down. All right.
Hey, Rutley, how about one more of those dispel magics on the darkness?
This is my last one. I'll take care of the darkness, but you're still in the insect swarm. So now you guys can all see. Rutley takes care of the last of the darkness. But you now are in a nest of webs, and there's some demonic creature behind HK. And we go to you, Oleski.
Jeez, I think I'm gonna have to take the spell at some point.
Sorry, not yet. Oleski, hold on. Alarian first, then it'll be you.
All right.
You
All
are.
right. Can you point at?
See that shadowy creature right in front of you.
Okay, that's a shadowy creature.
Yep.
Who are there for friendlies in front of that?
That's Hephaestus, Ubin, Jew. They're the free front. Vivian is right next to him, on the other side, and Oleski is right next to you.
Okay, so. All right, so I could have a fireball that goes and hits those orcs and then that shadowy creature, and then only has what? How many people of our friendlies would be in it? 4?
One, two, three, 4, 5.
Okay, I'll do it at 4th level, and I can sculpt 5 people out of it.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me the damage. I'm pretty sure you blow the orcs away. They're not going to make it.
Yeah.
They could make the last one.
So that one was
They're not big.
8,
I didn't realize how much damage he does.
19, 27, 34, and 37.
37. Okay.
Yeah, so if it's half if they pass, and
Yep.
full to fail.
19, 18. Okay. You think you hit it pretty well, but it didn't seem like it did much to the demon thing. It blew the orcs are gone though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see them.
Yep.
There's no darkness.
All right, Oleski, what are you doing?
I'm dropping 2 Eldritch Blasts on the drow downrange.
Okay.
I expect they have a better deck save than I'm willing to risk. Shit. 9 and 10 to hit.
He takes 2 quick side steps and gives you a wicked drow smile at you.
Yep. And then a D6, so 3 points of healing on Pepper behind me.
All right, that will give her kind of conscious. Good call. All right. Oof. Okay.
Ben, what's the square count to the drow?
25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Well, 40, because you can get rid of them.
Okay.
40 away. Shit. You almost, you kind of feel that's this weird, cold, brain tingling sensation on your back, Hephaestus. This thing almost got through to even your finely tuned armor, and it didn't feel very good.
Are we still blind?
No, you guys,
No.
No.
Rutley allowed you guys to see. And he needs to make a save. Failed. All right, but there's a lot of insects that are going all over you guys. Orcs are dead. So Ubin takes a lot of damage and then swings at the creature behind you, missing very badly. Vivian will hit. She strikes it, but you can see that it's sort of immaterial, and the damage that you've seen her do, obviously against you guys, is not doing a lot of damage to this creature at all. So she seems to only slightly disturb its actual presence. Jew, it is your turn.
Can I see that guy sitting in the middle of the room?
Yeah. How far do you go as a regular move? 40? Is that your regular move for barbarian? I can't check. Your movement speed is 40, so you can reach him.
Oh yeah, 40. Duh, it's right in front of me. I am charging him.
All right, he looks pretty shocked that you're coming at him.
He's shocked that I'm coming at him. Wait till I swing.
All right, well, attack him reckless.
Oh, a 19 plus, so 30 for the
30.
first swing.
You drill him.
And that'll be 14 damage.
All right, good cut into him.
Hacky hack. Second one's not as fun. 18.
He blocks it with his blade.
Sad. Do I got one more?
Yep, you can do a bonus one.
21.
You just get under his second block to cut into him.
Haha, 13.
Oof. He's bleeding pretty badly right now. He does not look happy about his situation in life.
Good, because I'm not happy either. He's been kicking my ass.
Oh, I do need you to make a Constitution save, though. Before you
Me?
left. Yes. You started in the plague.
I don't want to. Oh, hey, an 18. Woo-hoo.
All right. Oh, actually, I take that back. All right, so you're good. You actually do not take anything. You are set. All right, Hephaestus, it is you. What are you doing? You're muted again.
I'm going to shout out, press the attack on the demon. I'm going to support Jew. I'm going to move my 30. took
30?
Yeah, I'm gonna move my 30, and I'm gonna throw Catharos at the drow.
He almost got you with his reaction. All right. And then attack.
And that's going to be not enough at a 14, I assume. So I'm going to add my precision attack.
Okay.
And that's going to make it a 19.
You just hit him.
And for 11.
He drops in front of you.
And I will shout out, Jew, grab my spear.
All right. Firebrand, what are you doing, bud?
All right, is that me right next to him?
The creature, yes.
Okay, I'm going to use the bonus action to Misty Step 30 feet away, up towards HK.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Firebolt at it.
All right.
That is 14.
Hit.
That is 14 damage.
Okay. It's looking pretty weak right now. Look like that one stung it pretty solid. Oleski, what are you doing?
So we're not being affected by the insect swarm now?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, 17 on the roll. That's pretty good. Let's see.
All right, that's good enough. Everything in the square. If you stay in that square, you're gonna get the second hit of it. It doesn't hit you when you begin, so it's not like Spiritual Guardian. So if you leave the area, you're good. But if you stay where you are, you're gonna take damage, or at least in that square area.
Okay, then I will kneel down and place my hand on Pepper, and we will dimension door out next to HK.
How far is that?
A dimension door is up like 200 feet or something total.
So you want to just be there, or do you want to be farther?
No, just out by HK.
Excuse me.
All right, so everyone just
and then does Drusilla look like she has insects crawling all over, or is she in the area?
Yeah, she's back there. She's in the mess.
Well, hopefully she knows to clear the area. I will drop a D6 of healing on her.
Okay.
For 2 points of healing.
All right. Demon. He's trying to claw at Ubin, but he's able to block the attack. And Vivian is able to put a blade into its back, and the creature disappears.
Yeah.
She gets out of the smoke.
That's my girl.
Follow. Priscilla will do the same as they kind of back up a little bit there. With most of them. He comes over here and stomps on the head of the drow. Because he hates him. All right. Hephaestus, what are you going to do? No, I'm sorry, Jew. Jew, what are you doing?
Everybody's dead, right?
Seems like it.
With the demon.
I will stand ready in case something else pops up. Wait.
No.
Wait.
You obviously know that you don't think this guy was casting spells.
Oh,
Remember, Aleski, or they told you there were 2 spellcasters. So you're at least down 1 if this was a drow doing it.
I will search for the other.
Give me a perception. Disadvantage because of the shadows.
Oh, a 20 would have been nice, but 9.
Yeah, you're not seeing anything right off the bat.
Stupid disadvantage.
I know. All right, Hephaestus, what would you do?
I'm looking for the remaining draft.
Same. Perception, disadvantage.
17.
At disadvantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 12 and a 14, and I'm +5 on perception.
Nice. You see a floating man in robes.
Marked straight down the hall to my
Nor do I could
to
see
my
if he got
left.
in here.
I pick up my spear out of the drow, and I'm gonna make my best speed. If I can't close the entire distance, I'm throwing the spear at him.
Okay. Throw the spear.
And I'm going to add a precision die because that was actually, you know what? That might be enough. Who knows? $18.
As you do that, he quickly puts his hand up and it strikes a shield, a mystical shield that erupts in front of him.
Mage. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Mage armor. Got you. All right. I see. I see. But I made you cast it, biatch.
You did. All right. His turn. He sees the situation, looks at you. He casts the spell. And Misty steps to a corner.
Fleeing.
Okay. Now, do I have sight on him still?
You still do, yes.
Okay. Let me know when I can speak again, because I'm going to be communicating where I see him, but I don't want to take advantage of game time. So just let me know when I can shout that out to the group.
Yeah. All right. You will see another drow make a move forward as well. She waves her hands and some creatures appear in front of her.
That one's ground level, right?
What's that?
That one's ground level. That one's not flying too.
That one was not flying. It is a female in yellow robes. Another one drops from the ceiling. And you were able to put your shield in the back before she tried to get a backstab on you, HJ.
Okay.
All right, Firebrand, what do you do?
So there's 3 spiders on the ground, a drow on the ground.
2 spiders on the ground, a female drow in robes, another female drow that tried to attack HJ.
Oh, that's a
from behind,
okay.
and this one is a
That's
wizard
one.
floating. You can't see him as well. He's floating. Try to get him a little bit more on the camera. Where you
I'm
at?
more did. I thought that was another spider that dropped down by 8K.
Yeah, it's
That's a
another
drow. All right, I'm on my phone, so it's not super big.
Yeah.
Uh, how high is the ceiling here?
It's about 80 feet up.
Okay, I am going to cast Wall of Force and cut off the flying one. So it's going to cut across and seal off that cavern.
Nicely done. All right, Wall of Force. I got here for something. Where'd my thing go? I lost my little rod thing. Oh, there it is. All right, so boom. Yeah.
No, on the other side, it's going to seal him off.
Oh,
So he's not involved anymore.
oh, keeping
Yeah.
it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
Because he can fly, but he can't fly further than the ceiling.
yeah. I'm used to that. All right, interesting, cool. All right. Out of the blue, where's her name? Rose appears and backstabs this drow down. Just
Nice.
out of play from that. Others will hold ground. Aleski, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna drop a sacred radiance on the female drow there that just summoned a couple of spiders.
Okay.
It's a dexterity save 15.
Let's say 15.
Sacred
Pass it.
flame. Okay.
No damage. Okay.
Nope, no damage.
All right. Anything else?
Where am I currently?
The light blue.
All right, and who's the is Jew the yellow token there?
He is.
And then who's next to Jew?
That is Boulder, the Goliath barbarian.
Okay, I'm going to step up on Boulder's right
Okay.
and block the. You start to form a wall so that those creatures can't get by.
Okay. Pepper will put 2 arrows into this large spider, dropping that. And Vivian and them will hold their ground, I guess. Get ready. Large spider will come up and attack you, Hephaestus. Doesn't get through your armor. And Jew, what are you going to do?
Oh, near me. And then is that wall blocking the spellcaster?
Yeah, he's pretty much now out of play. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah, he can't.
Okay.
He's blocked off from everything. He can't cast spells through it.
So who do we have on our side?
You just have a large spider, and that you now assume it to be a drow priestess. She is.
Oh, I'm going after her.
She has a Kaneki of Luth. All right, go ahead.
She got a sword is what she gonna have.
Now she has a snake whip.
Ooh, fancy. 19 first step.
That's a hit.
Got a sword in her gut now.
She does have a sword in her gut now.
16
Ouch.
damage.
Okay.
And then she can have a sword in her shoulder.
Okay.
Ooh, that was almost a nat. 30 for the second hit.
Well, yeah, that's an obvious hit.
And a 14 damage on that one.
Okay. She definitely has that blade in her shoulder. She's wincing and wailing in pain.
Let's see if I can stick the last one down her throat. And a 23.
Yep, that's pretty much going to hit her breast.
17.
Oof. Okay, she's gurgling in an immense amount of pain. She gurgles in pain. I yield. In common.
I'm
You
out of
get the other guy
action.
saying
I can't do
something.
anything.
He's upset, but he
Stun.
casts fly spell and leaves. He's gone. And I'm gonna say Hephaestus kills the spider. I'm not really worried about that. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep her alive or are you gonna kill the drow priestess?
I look towards our leader for
Uh,
confirmation.
As she looks up, she goes, Ubin, these are your minions?
Ubin.
He replies, Vexet, I am here, but they are not in service of me. They are here to dismantle my mother. Vexet will then say, since no one's stopping her, gurgling, well, if they're here to dismantle your mother, then I shouldn't have been attacking you at all. In fact, I should be giving you forces to do so. We shall see. You are still poisonous bitch of the Spider Queen. Vixet laughs. That is the way of the Spider Queen. It is all what we are about makes our race stronger. Apparently, your mother does not see it that way. What do you mean? Ubin says. You have been away a long time, Ubin. Your mother disgraces the drow race. Your house discusses the drow race. If these champions are here to kill her, then by all means, let me live and I will make every house rally to your cause. It is time to dismantle House Sinvalala. The matron mother there, Hesticius, needs to fall. We, our people, cannot have this. Spare me. I will give you the city to aid you. Ubin looks to you perplexed. What do you do?
I look at Ubin perplexed.
You still look to you perplexed as well.
I say, the fuck?
Elaine joins to the perplexity.
I look at her and
Right.
say, whether or not we can trust you remains to be seen.
Yes, her sincerity is a big question mark here. Obviously,
I am treacherous. That is who I worship. But what I speak of House Divinalia is disgusting. I do not lie to that. I will aid you. My house will aid you. And I know every drow house will aid you to dismantle the first house of our city.
What token of your house and your rank do you have to provide that serves to solidify such a promise?
She looks at Ubin. Ubin nods. She is the first daughter of the fourth house of Byzantia. She holds quite power. When her mother goes, she looks to inherit that house.
But she doesn't have
The political prisoner you have here is severe.
I'm going to look at Ubin and ask him what his honest opinion of this is, of his assessment of the situation.
He doesn't understand what she's saying about his mother. We know that she had something to do with the bloodstone. I don't know what she's talking about. That does not make. I was gone. I don't understand why they were all part of Loth. Something is going on that would cause this. If her belief is that strong, then it is definitely something against Loth. But I don't know what my mother is doing.
Well, we know she's trying to assist in the emergence of silk into this realm. Perhaps she's turned her eyes from Loth and has gone to silk.
Jaxet goes, that's what I said.
So as you can see, there are other ways in this world to go. Loth is not the only choice.
She is the only choice. She is our ancestry, our tradition, our protection, our way of being.
She is
Hmm.
a way of being. She is not the way of being.
Again, I repeat, what token do you have to solidify your promise?
Keep me alive. I will lead you to that house with an army of drow and slaves. And I will have every matron mother from every house below to seize her house and destroy her. But we go in to destroy all of House Cinevelia.
Except
That's
Dubin.
my token.
We need to confer. Once she's bound appropriately,
Okay.
I think we need to discuss with Lucky how we proceed.
Oops. It's up to you. You want to trust her or not?
I kind of
I've never seen a drought. I've never seen a drought house this high
yeah.
talk like she has.
Are we away from her so she can't hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
She
that
did yield.
totally was.
She did yield. They're clearly in disarray if they are that worried about that which the first house intends to do. Uben, do you think we can trust her? And what do you feel about her statement? I would fear if there's any among your house that you would have spared, she will not allow that.
If she's speaking true, I must resist you. I told you I would leave you in there to help dismantle the ritual. But I am not going to have my entire family killed. That is the way of the drought. That is the way of both.
When she says get rid of all of your house,
It is murder.
she's including you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, can't do that.
I'm not down with that.
No.
But I don't understand whatever she's talking about would be monumentally different of the drow society. I'm not really understanding how she is talking about my mother in a way of this. What you have gave me to believe that silk is a greater evil. It would be something that would make sense that entices my mother. But I do not understand if her evil is that great that she has put the fear of every loath priestess of my society, my city, to be against my family.
My concern is that if she would so quickly after one battle, granted to spare her own life, be willing to throw in her lot with the first group that comes to attack, they were probably pretty close to doing so anyway. And using us as a screen allows them to do what they were going to do.
Part of, but in drow society, if you do something and you're caught, then it is you who are to blame and your house will be ostracized and destroyed. So bands such as ourselves are guilty by dissociation, so to speak.
Right.
So she could throw more slaves that we had
You-
freed or whatever. You saw how they fight. They're not easily in the front ranks to identify which houses are combating.
Well, since your house is the first house in the city, if your mother has turned on Loth and went to Silk, do you think Loth could influence the other house priestesses that being threatened by Silk as taking over the whole city and all the drow, that whoever can take her out becomes the first house?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, but my mother
That would be the
might
impetus to.
change something with silk. Um, Again, I don't know. As a war master, I'm not that attuned to the politics of the maids and mothers. It is something that I would love to know more about.
Well,
I definitely don't trust, or I cannot have the way that Vexelia is talking about, but she may have some, at least insight if we can pry the right questioning out of her that gives us information of what exactly has spurred this type of reaction from the other houses.
Do you know the right questions to ask?
I do not.
But I don't.
so to clarify, we are in agreement. We are not allying ourselves with this house against Zuben's house. We are not sanctioning wholesale murder of all individuals. The battlefield is one thing, but the murder of a house is not what we're here to do. Are
We
we?
can't. Yeah, we can't be on board for that. I
That
mean,
that
What if it's necessary though to stop
you.
the?
anybody on the battlefield is a separate issue. We're going to stop the ritual. This group is sanctioning something, is attempting to
Yeah.
sanction something entirely different.
They want to wipe out the bloodline entirely and erase the house from complete existence, including Uven.
So that
Every child, everything. Gone.
that brings us to the second question. If we are not going to ally ourselves, what are we going to do with her? How do we get the information from her? What questions do we ask? And two, what do we do once we have that information and those answers?
Well, Vivian will say, isn't Oleski the religious one? If that's really the case, wouldn't he know more what she's pissed off about?
I have an idea, and it goes back to the conversation that Ubin and I were having. There is a change occurring, at least in one drow house. There is perhaps a move away from Loth as the core belief of the house. And that is something that I desperately hope to see. If we can convince Ubin's mother to see the light as opposed to the dark, perhaps she can guide her people away from Loth. And I believe that's probably what is the fear here of the other houses. If the first house is so powerful and has not been attacked yet, it means that her power in the city is enough to cause the rest of the houses to fall in line, even when she steps so far away from their traditions. Maybe we need to encourage this in the right direction as opposed to attacking her.
Pepper will ask, but what about the ritual that we're supposed to stop?
We absolutely have to stop the ritual. But if we can convince her that there is a greater power even than this silk, and it is one of at least neutrality or goodness, then perhaps we can change the view of this family and this hopefully city, and bring a greater light into this deeper dark.
Okay. Ubingo's thoughts?
Do not disagree, my friend, but I am thinking in terms of what action do we take now? We have a prisoner that we have to deal with. We have information that we need to gain. How do we accomplish these goals?
How have you already done it?
She's not a warrior with whom I can share a warrior's bond of oath. So the technique that we used in the manner in which we came to accords with Uben to afford ourselves a longer period of time to discuss and come to mutual agreements is not a luxury we're going to have.
Cuban will
But
also mention she is much more dangerous a political prisoner than I was tenfold, even by first house. I am male and a warrior. She is the first daughter of House Vizinata.
and any injury we inflict on her after she is yielded will anger her house even more.
And her brother escaped Lothor. He knows who we are. We did not get a complete clearing of the battlefield.
But if we treat her at least with the respect due someone of faith, even though it's the wrong faith, in my opinion, Ubin, then showing her there is a different way available than the way she would treat us might begin to soften her edges.
She's pretty fanatical. I don't know about that.
I don't know about softening her edges, but I agree. We treat her with a level of respect befitting a prisoner of war.
She will be like holding a caged spider, like poisonous spider, I might add.
I do fear that the chances are vast that we will deal with issues with her in our midst. We will also struggle with the ability to keep our plans our own should she ever make good her escape. And she will, at first opportunity, try to alert others to our presence so she can escape in the chaos.
It's also true that she is in opposition. She's dangerous, and as a person of faith, she can call upon magics even when significantly bound that we may not be able to counter. There is an argument for killing her. By her words, she is evil, and we can eradicate her and make this world a better place by removing it. But if we have the opportunity to make this world a better place by changing her, then that is something I'm interested in.
Yeah, by good conscience, we would say she well deserves death. She's probably killed hundreds and hundreds of people. My only concern is her brother lived. Do we wish to be dogged by the fourth house? Otherwise, they will take it as a slight, but they may show some pause if the first daughter, Vixet, lives. But her mother will be vengeful if she is dead.
Here's my
She has no other
opinion
daughter,
on this.
so she would be severely upset with Vixet's death.
I don't think we're in a win-win situation right now. The way she was looking in regards to Ben's house, they will do anything and everything to eradicate that house because of the direction it's going. So we have a couple of different things that we can do with her to keep her house off of us. We can align with her, as she suggested, and use them as allies and take down Ubin's house, but you guys said you don't want to do that because they're calling for full eradication. We can release her, and as a condition of the release, ask her and her house to not interfere with our mission, which I'm pretty sure that they would do. But once our mission's done, I foresee them coming in behind us and sweeping up and still going after Ubin's house and eradicating it. Or the other options is we keep her prisoner, we get hounded by her house, or we kill her and her house is completely after us and we're fighting them on en route to the overall mission. Those are the kind of the scenarios that I'm hearing right now. And like I said, I don't know if any of those are a win-win.
Well, Vivian will speak up. being part of the underground, your option 2 holds strong merit. We tell her we're going in. If she at least thinks we're attacking, that will keep their house off at least up until initial conflict. Then once we figure out what the first house is doing, then maybe the latter part of your plan is not a threat to them, because if they're converting to a new faith and we're backing that, maybe nothing really changes, and the first house can give us escort out. She doesn't actually necessarily know the full plan, but she thinks we're going in to do damage, then at least that does a temporary reprieve from them.
Yeah, if our goal is to stop the ritual and allow the house to shift its faithful alliance, in theory, they could, depending on what they throw at us and how well we fare, remain strong enough to hold them off while they go through this natural change that they're going through.
Yeah, but they're trying to. They're shifting their house to silk. The ritual is to bring her in. How do you convince the entire house to change religions?
You
in a
don't. You
short amount of
convince
time?
the leadership. We take out or defeat the leader and give them the opportunity to change. And if they're unwilling to change, we look at who remains.
But Pepper will say, before we go too far with this, shouldn't we let Oleski interrogate her just to get more information to see what the first house is doing, since we don't know?
Agreed.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Then we decide what to do with her after. Then, like I said, if we want to do whatever, plan A, B, C. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for that. Try to pull up
Great.
as much information and then
All right.
proceed from there.
So she's bounded, held by, tied behind and held quite well by Boulder and Rose. So she looks at you, curious, wicked. You can sense she's still confident. Even as a prisoner, she doesn't seem to have a lot of fear. That's what you get out of her, Oleski, and others watching. We can't hear you.
I'm not going to threaten her, so my dagger will remain sheathed. Not that a dagger is particularly threatening, but I will step up in front of her, and I will offer her a bow, a polite, political bow, giving her the respect of like an equal in faith, so to speak.
Okay.
We have discussed several options, but you are presenting us with more information than we know what to do with. What exactly is this disgusting activity that the first house is doing?
She is changing. She is bringing in gods that do not serve drow society. Loth is the only one to follow. That is what we are. That is what our society is built on.
Societies change, and Loth is not one to follow, because if she was one to follow, she would lead. And as a goddess, she hides in the dark and hides behind her followers and has no power of her own, only that which you give her.
She is clever. It is deceit and webs, but you are ready for immediate satisfaction and gratification. That is of your people. We wait and let these things develop. Let the fly come to the web. That is how Loth has always been. It has been that way for thousands and thousands of years. Generational gaps. What you have been when your societies were made and your cities were created and fell and new ones built upon it. Our city has always manifested this way. Each of our houses are strong by the cleverness of our web that we weave.
That is the deceit that she gives you. You are just a fly in her web until she is hungry and needs you to sustain her. The gods above in the light provide for the world and keep everybody in the light safe. It may not be the safety of physical bodies, but it is the safety of the soul. Your soul has been given over to something that will just use it. It has no desire to protect it or keep it safe, only to hoard it and keep it within its web. You are the fly that she wishes to gaze upon and see stuck upon her web. It is this other house that is clawing its way off of the web that is causing this discord, because as this house moves away, your goddess loses power. Her power is only manifested in the people who worship her, whereas the other gods are manifested in the world, in the spirits of the land, in the elements, in the sky, in the stars. They are gods that see creation and support it. Your God only devours.
She does devour. She enjoys devouring. You are right, my handsome priest. Very right. But the gods you speak of, they are ones all of gluttony and of themselves. They do not help the society much. They pleasure and toy with you. Your sun god, your god of wine, your goddess of love, your goddess of wisdom, they all play with you. That is the way your followings have all been. Loth has stuck underneath all of that. A spider who is created into their homes and made a society for us. We are well protected here. Those that come from the light,
You're well
I'm the
protected.
devourer.
How are you well protected? You had a horde of slaves, you had a horde of soldiers, and still they fell in droves. Your power was a mere candle to the power of Apollo that I presented to you. You couldn't save your troops. You couldn't save those soldiers beneath you. Didn't even try.
Engaging. Why would I save them? They're expendable. We had to see what you had. Cast your spells about. Yes, indeed, you had victory today. Wasn't complete, though. If you feel that this was your war, then you make my
No,
group of
this is
low
not our war.
much.
What we are doing is coming to stop a ritual, and that is it. We are trying to prevent a new force from entering this realm.
Yes, I agree. My house will help you with that. New gods cannot be made here. We will deal with your old gods. I like your sun god. He's blind and dumb, not like Luke. But I don't want the new gods here. Silk brings them here. She cannot have the power, not with the gods she's chosen. That is what I'm trying to tell you, priest. I will help you. Free me of my bonds. That's all
No, you won't help us. You're
I am.
incapable of helping us because your whole entire soul is of deceit. We know your words are false. You may present us with something that seems to be in our benefit, seems to be helping us, but we know from your faith that it's false because your faith is deceit.
You are afraid. I understand.
I
But
have no fear of you.
you feel you
No,
feel
I do not fear Loth.
then
She
kill me.
is.
Make it all easy. If I am just this bug that you say so, then make it reality. I go to my goddess. But if you fear what is coming, then my goddess will help your god. Isn't that fun? Isn't that grand loyalty?
Your goddess can't help my god because she has no power. Her power is hidden. Her power is a mystery. Her power is only a vapor that once you shine a light upon it, it dissipates and is gone.
Okay, then you need me not. Do as you
No,
need.
we don't need you. In fact, we don't want you, but we do respect you. And we do respect your family, and we do respect the houses of the city. We're not going to destroy them. We're not going to fight them. We're not going to even hamper them in any way. What we do want to do is stop this ritual. But destroying a house is your way, not ours. There is a different way. There are better ways. Your traditions, your past, your choices are all that. They are the past, and they can be made new. You can start new traditions. You can start new ways to look at things. You can start to change the perception of the people above, of the people below that seem to want to live in darkness and evil. That is all we know because that is all you present to us. But there are better ways, and you have the choice before you.
Well, then, what is the choice?
Do you know where this ritual is taking place?
Yes, in the first house.
Well, yes, we know that. But have you seen the preparations for it?
No.
So what is it that your people are doing besides cowering in front of the first house? You say you want to attack and destroy them, but what is it you've done up until this point?
Well, as you say, our goddess is weak. What could we do? A new change is what you're saying, so we would be powerless. What would you have me do?
I would have you give us all the details you have that will help us find this location.
It is in the ritual of the first house. It would be where her chambers of Loth would be. But it's not Loth anymore. If you were listening, this is a new goddess. New goddess with new other gods. That's what we don't want.
And do
So,
you have current intelligence on the comings and goings of the watches and guards of this first house?
we know what they're doing, but we can't stop them. They are the first house. When they were followers of Loth, they amassed a mighty fortune, wealth, power, and slaves. Matron Mother may have shifted her loyalties, but this new goddess, through whatever means, is giving her an amount of power. I don't think there are many of her disciples in this world, but she chose the Matron Mother first. But she's not doing it alone. The other gods have chosen the children of the first house. That's what you don't understand. You're arguing with me to follow change. I'm telling you want to stop it. You want me to help you stop it, then you need to help stop it. Otherwise, the first house is doing what you say. Change.
We need intelligence. Comings and going of their watch, the best and most up to date details on their armament strengths and weaknesses. Will you provide that information?
There are thousands of elite drow soldiers, and that's that next. Not orcs. This was fodder. This was a warband. This was a test. A bit of a hunting thing. You coming out here is rare. Not a complete failure. You made your presence known. My house now is aware of you. That's the difference. Knowledge, a web, a tingle that follows through. There are probably 500,000 slaves of orcs, goblins, ogres, bugbears in her ranks, and a number of elite gladiators said to have. But if you snake through and get through most of the defenses, those usually have little play. What you must worry about are her children. The first mother is, of course, Histius, the follower of Silk, but I worry about her first daughter, much like the position I have. Kadore has started following the Raven Queen. And because these are all new, their power is becoming extraordinarily powerful. So if Histius is following Silk, and Kadore is following the Raven Queen, and each of them the high priestess of the chosen faith, you can see even us followers of both must be careful at how we attack.
There's no contradiction between what the mother following Silk and the daughter following the Raven Queen.
That if I had privy to that full information, I could take it to all the other houses and we could wage war to eradicate. But there is something going on. But there's more. But that's just two of the gods. Gosh, that's why we're fearful. But what if there were more? There is. Histius knows how to mate and have children. Her second daughter, Lari Medea, follows Tiamat. So they'd have links to dragons. I don't know if there's one in there or one nearby. But I imagine being her high priestess, That makes her dangerous. Her third daughter, Mag Corbelia, is also following Silk. So they do have some power of that. But it is 4 strong priestesses that are in that power. And they also have a sorcerer as well. And I think Silk has some type of mage connection to them as well. But there are these 3 gods that are in the first house. They are not Loth. Loth is no longer in that house. So she cannot tell us what they're doing. She cannot tell us what she's whispering to the first mother, the first daughter, the second daughter, or the third. We don't know. We have to wait to get spiders to go inside. We do know the ritual is in there. We do know there's something. We don't know she has made allies with a lich, a dark sun. It is that play that we are not. That is where allies have become manifested. So the first house has turned from us. She has found other allies. Usually they are the mind players that the first house gets privy to. But she has gone farther. I believe it is this lich was whispered into the first mother's ear. Things have changed in our city. Now, do you allow change? Or we destroy the fucking first house?
I turn my back to her and face Oleski. And Uben. We have a decision to make.
All right, so
Yes.
the gamblers will keep an eye on her. There'll be enough of them around her so she can't start anything. Your group can go off to the side and talk quietly where she can't hear you guys.
Yep.
And
If
discuss among yourselves.
if Ubin renounces his house and joins us,
You're
could he be excluded from this? From the house having to be.
He could by us, but I don't think he'd be.
I don't think it would matter to her.
It could. I mean, you know, political wise in kingdoms, disappearing disappearing children of royalty is not an uncommon thing. But you always will know. There's always that fear to that person in charge now who's taken over that person
It's gonna come back. Yeah.
So that would always linger to any of the first house.
That could remove immediate dangers, but elven lives.
But
100 years from now, something else could happen. But Ubin was very clear. This is not an issue of just him. It's an issue of the entire household.
yes. Ubin amongst your ranks though doesn't he understands what his siblings kind of are, but they're still his family. That's where he just can't allow his sisters to be killed without himself being part of it. He's going to defend.
Look, we have to stop the ritual. Your youngest sister and your mother, we're probably not going to convince them. This may come down to a final battle with them. For the others and the new deities that they worship, that's a separate issue. Our truck is with this ritual, and anyone who gets in our way to stop it.
Well, my belief was when I first got to you, and I know we have become close. My hope is for you to take the bloodstone that she needs and leave the area. I will not see my mother, as wicked as she is, and my sisters die while I can do something about it. That
Our
was my
goal is
promise.
to, our goal is to end the ritual, and if taking the stone and leaving is what we need to do, we will do it.
I'm here to
I-
aid you with that.
I am worried that your
Make a
mother
road.
will fight to the end, or at the very least, make your sister fight to the end. If they yield as this one did, we will stay our hand. But if they fight to the death, I don't know what our options would be beyond the attempt to leave with the stone.
I understand. And I will treat the same accordingly to all of you.
And regarding this one, we have a decision to make. I think we've gotten all that we're going to get from her. What do we do now?
Um, I have an idea, but it ain't gonna make people happy.
I like Jew's idea of letting her go, but not accepting her pledge of the rest of the city against the first house.
The only problem with that is she just gave us an idea of the size of the army of the first house that we're looking at. There's no way we can compete against that. So we're gonna have to go in as stealthy as possible, and we ain't the stealthiest bunch.
We're going to
Yeah, I
end
mean,
up fighting our way, but the goal
we
is
don't
not
even have a
to face
rogue
off against an army.
in our group. So here's here's my thought as far as our mission, which is to stop the ritual. Be aligned with this other house as allies. We let them go in as the front of the attack. We release Ubin to join his house, and he can help in whatever way he feels necessary. And then we focus on trying to sneak in and get the bloodstone and get out. And whatever casualties happen. But the fate of the house is out of our hands at that point. So there's no guilt on our conscience on whether the house stands or doesn't stand.
Well,
But at least gives us numbers to compete with what we potentially could be looking.
I don't think releasing them on them is a good idea.
Oh, Vivian is a rogue. That's right.
If we do our best to get as close to this as we possibly can, we may end up fighting our way at various points. But once we're in the thick of the fight, we need Vivian to focus on getting the item. And if she can't get to it, those of you with the ability to move about, Aileron, with your ability to teleport, you'll need to get to the item and get out, and then get Vivian out. And then once we have it, we need to signal and basically begin a tactical retreat.
I mean, we need as much intel as we can get, which we can either get from using this other house with potential of them putting in, spiders or whatever spies. The other option is I don't know how well Ubin knows the location and might be able to get someone in there like Vivian and Galeron and then get out. If we just need the stone and get out, I mean, that could be the boats. Anything else can be a distraction.
We're just by ourselves, right? Nobody else can hear us.
Yep, just your 3 NPCs.
We
Ubin, Pepper, and Vivian are a party.
we just have to get the stone if that's the crux of everything. I do still have the scroll that will bring us back to the summer court in the Fae. So if we get that, we can make that escape.
How many
You
will
don't-
it bring?
All of us?
Are we including the gamblers to get
I
that
like this
deep and
question.
leave the gamblers? That's not okay either.
Well,
Yeah.
you're assuming the
It-
gamblers won't be going in the city. Their mission was to get you to the city.
Okay.
You going in and out, they can make their way back in the Underdark. That's their skill set.
Okay.
It is just your immediate party that you worry about.
All right. So if we get it and we get back to the summer court, then we're good. At that point, the mission becomes get the stone and congregate, so we're able to be caught up in the ritual. Right? Am I correct?
If we get the stone and use the scroll, get back to the summer court, then we're disrupting the ritual and they can't finish it, right?
Firebrand,
Yeah.
there's something
I mean-
I want you to know though, Firebrand. The one thing to the one flaw to your plan on the escape would be Ubin's other brother. Tectorian is a sorcerer wizard. So if he has access to counterspell, he could fuck you up, especially with magical items who tend to be very low on the BC. So if he's distracted, the priestesses shouldn't have the counterspell. But he would be the one thing that could foil your escape. But if he's distracted, so that would have to be part of your plan. Tectorian could not be there on your escape.
Okay, so the scroll could be counterspelled.
Yes. It is a spell. So if he can see you, he can put a counterspell. And he's the only one that you know that would be able to do that. The priestesses don't have access to that. That would you think that would stop that? Their spelling would be after the effect.
Okay, so I think when we're getting close to the end game here, one thing I can do to help with that, all other suggestions welcome. I can hold back a 5th level spell for a wall of force and dome them
Mm-hmm.
before we're going to use the scroll to get out of there, which would block them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, all other suggestions of how to distract them welcome.
Well,
But
I
that is one option. That's one option that we have in our back pocket. So to
I
speak.
think the idea would be to pepper with spells, literally and figuratively, so that he feels the need to dispel often. Then, when it's
Yeah.
time, the dome, and then the escape.
Yeah, I mean, he can't counterspell everything.
Correct. So, if we give him enough
Yeah.
options to counterspell prior to, he may well
Exhaust himself.
exhaust himself of that ability beforehand. And we would finally know if he chose to dispel your dome, then a force, then we would, if he dispels that, then we would assume that he may be out at that point. So regardless, we would then be able to make good our escape.
Yeah.
If Ubin will say, if you can be going in not to look to kill my brother, sister, and mother, I will try to take, going ahead, I will try to remove them from the equation. Speak with them, put them in another area that would give you time to make the theft.
Ubin, because we are discussing avoiding any conflict with your family if possible, is there as the war master of the house, I'm assuming that you've trained throughout is it a compound or a palace or
A palace, yes.
the area that your family owns for its defense? If we promise not to give this information to other people in your city, is there a way to sneak in and out? Does your family have an escape tunnel, or
I can get us in. should be able to deal with most inquiries, provided that most of your weapons were put away. But the truth will always come down to where we need to get the stone will make direct conflict with my family. I believe I can get us past the soldiers, easily the slaves. But it is who of my sisters, possibly my brother, will be there at the ritual site. That is
Does
But
anybody
that
have the
is-
ability to disguise Alaron as a drow?
that's not part of our agreement. You're released from your vow once we get to the city. That would put you in further conflict with us if you did that. I mean, that's asking too much of you and your promise to us.
I believe
One,
that
have won my friendship. I do not wish to see any one of you, as well as my family, harmed. I am in a impossible situation. I understand what the ritual brings. I understand what my family is and what they're seeking of it. There are two conflicting sides where I am stuck with family blood because I have compassion. My sisters may not care, or my mother, if I should perish, but it would pain me if I saw that. And I feel the same with you. I have now fought by your side. I've seen many things. You have given me nothing but the highest respect and honor that a male drow could ever hope for, even that I am due so as the first house war master. Your treatment of me, your respect, has gone beyond anything that I have ever encountered. I would love to see change. That is where I am a part of this. I will help see some things taken care of. But I will use all my ability to thwart any harm to them. I will thwart them from stopping you from grabbing that stone and fleeing. They may cause me great pain, and understand that I welcome it, so that neither one of you are really harmed from both sides. I accept that. I want.
so if you are attempting to separate your siblings from the event, specifically your brother, so that we have a lesser chance of being thwarted in our escape. That makes the most sense tactically. If there is any ability for you to join us when we are making good that escape, we ask that you do so.
Who do we think has the stone? Ruben, do you have any idea who
His
might be in
mother.
possession?
Mother.
It would be my mother. She would not trust it into my youngest sister's hands at the moment. She is probably following because it is her mother. She is trying to probably thwart her sisters, so she chose the same goddess. But Cabrole is not
So
genius, she'd say.
here's a plan that I'll throw out for discussion. If Ubin can get in, well, I guess that's be the first question. Do you think they're aware of any of your actions with us over the past
Couple months.
couple months?
They would probably be wondering why I have not quite responded from the people I was placed with,
But not necessarily specifics.
but I do not believe they would have full answers unless they have been scrying on me, which is possible.
Well,
There is
so
a
here we're-
possibility they do not even know you're alive.
That is also
so this could be a shot in the dark. You are the son. You're high ranking in the groups. Here's a shot in the dark tactic. Ubin goes in, gets in and talks to his mother, explains to her that a great deal of harm is coming her way and toward the house's way. All the other drow houses are upset and are joining forces and coming in. Time is very short. They need to move quickly, but they need to do it stealthily in a way that they don't alert any of the spies that might be around. Maybe he says that there's a mole within the house that they can't trust anybody. He convinces his mom to leave with him and maybe a small group, but preferably the if it was just him and her, that would be perfect. I'm guessing she's going to take the stone with her. We predetermine a location to meet. Basically, Ubin brings his mother and the stone to us, and that's when we make our move to take the stone, whether it's by force or by coercion. To make that plan work, we would have to let this drow priestess go and convince her that we're going to team up with her and have her house move in to make it look like it's actually happening. At that point, we take the stone. Alaron, you and the stone go back to the house Fae. If anybody else can make it back, if anybody else can go back with you, great. But the biggest thing is stopping the ritual and getting the stone away from her and away from this house is best as possible. So it's kind of a stealth, kind of a coercion, but we need to have the threat actually be there. So we would have to let this priestess go with the thought that we're going to team up with her and take down the entire house, demobilize her peoples, and start moving towards the first house and whatnot. And again, at that point, what happens. But we're not directly involved, so it's off our conscience on whether the house lives or falls.
As long as Ubin's brother doesn't counterspell the scroll, we can all go back.
And again, the goal would be to get Ubin and his mother in the stone, and that's it. If anybody else comes along, then we'd have to deal with that as is. But the big play on that is Ubin has to go in and has to be convincing enough to get his mother to flee with him and to meet us somewhere.
Yeah, but other than Ubin, because he was, because he was before we went to, or after we went to the fake court. As long as his brother's not around to counterspell the scroll, even if we're all doing things in that area, we can all go back.
Yeah. If his brother's there,
it doesn't
the threat to counterspell is
that's
there.
That's why we have to distract them.
Yeah, there's either distraction.
Well, either it works or it doesn't work. Either we can all go back or nobody's going back.
It's a one and done.
Yeah.
If he blocks it, it'll never work.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I can still make it back while you distract them.
If he's
we
not,
can all
with,
go or nobody.
If he's not with her, and if he's not with Ubin and the mother and the stone, then he wouldn't know to cast a spell to distract it.
But you're bringing
I would expect
that much pressure to the house. The
What's
likelihood of my siblings being there are going to be extraordinarily high.
You have to get your mother to leave the area with the stone. She's going to safety.
Yeah,
she's going to leave my sister with her. My brother may not care about as much, but we are talking about likely 2 to 3 priestesses, my sisters being there, and their entourage. And I might add, priestesses are known to summon demons. The Yokolik is the drow thing, although they are not with her anymore, but they could have other demons in play. I think that shadowy thing that was attacking was a lot from Vixet, not from the wizard.
I would add that your plan is a set of tactics that could be an option. If we table that for the time being as option one and discuss other options, and then another option, and then we decide which we feel would work better. I would say, as a point of contrast with that plan, my concern is drow oaths are not temporary, fleeting human things. They last. If you release this house on Ubin's house, it will be forever. Even if we take them away from that immediate danger, their lives will always be in jeopardy wherever they are. Whether we are sanctioning releasing them for murder today or tomorrow, that's the sanction we're talking about if we utilize that house.
Yeah,
Even
but
if
our
we even if we are not intending to follow through, they will. And that's really the key. It's about their actions and what we would be releasing thereof.
but I look at it at two ways. She's already pretty adamant that all the other drow houses are not happy with the first house and what's happening, and would do anything to stop it. It's already there. They're already looking for a reason. If we kill her, now they're mad at us and the first house. If we release them, they're mad at the first house. They're not mad at us. They're a distraction for us to get our goal.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting we kill her. As I said, that's a set of tactics utilizing that house against the first house. I
And
do not.
even if we let her go and say just stand down,
uh,
you know,
She won't, but that's not. Allow me.
The the thing with if with letting her go and saying that she'll side with us is what she's gonna do is they're gonna wait, they're gonna see which way the tide of the battle is turning. If it's going for us and it looks like we're gonna win, then they say, yes, we were helping you and we're gonna rout them. And if it looks like we're starting to lose, then she can side, they're gonna side with the first house and say, we were in on all along to help you and just wipe us out. There's
and then they
nothing
wait until
to
another
stop
opportunity
us.
arises to take out the first house. I mean, if they're already
Yeah.
if they're bound by oaths and they're already against the first house because religion changed, they're not going to change. They might delay,
So
like a couple weeks, a couple months, a couple years.
yeah,
I'm
so
looking at it our goal.
right. So allow me using the house. Option one. Option two. Ignore the house. How we ignore the house is not part of the option, right? They are not part of what we do or what we're doing. We will have to decide what we do with her in this option that has nothing to do with the plan. And that would be Uben gets us in. Uben distracts his brother. We stealth as far as we can, go for the stone, and get out.
I just don't. I don't see us. We haven't stealth at any point to where we're at right now.
We're talking about a city. Stealth is
Yeah.
less
A
of a
city that
specific,
we don't fit in
right.
at all.
Allow
Not
me.
the only person that fits into that city is none of us fit in.
And I changed
So
my face, and I'm gonna look like a drow. My same general size, but I'm gonna look like a drow now. Essentially, the issue isn't about stealth, as in being unseen, unheard. It is simply getting in as far as we can get before we have conflict. Conflict will occur. Somebody will make a noise. Somebody will fail an opportunity to trick a guard. We get as far as we get and we move from
And
that point tactically.
did you hear the list of stuff that's in this city and in this house that this priest has listed off?
1,000 men can hold a city, and a group of 6 or 7 can still sneak in. Always remember that.
1,000 drow, potential other goblins, orcs, bugbears. I think I heard her say.
But Ubin is
Maybe dragons because one of them is religious to Tiamat.
Ubin how is though a member of the house. It is betrayal at any political gambit that you know. That is, if someone of the house is royalty, they can bypass all that.
Anybody
So
that's
can they
below
bring
him,
people?
anybody that's below him on the hierarchy is gonna not question him, because to question him would be to go against the house.
Right.
You could all be
And-
considered slaves. It all depends on how the appearance is played out.
We all have to find the roles we need to play to allow Ubin to get us in. As I said, and as I am showing, I am a non-factor in that issue. I can simply look as a drow.
The question comes into is his mother and his siblings. They're the ones that are going to question the process of you guys' arrival in whatever format that you come into. If it
Which
is
is fine
combat
because the
or quiet.
which is fine because what I'm hearing then is the only sibling that we have to worry about, so to speak, is the brother who can counterspell the scroll.
Slightly incorrect. He's the only one that can stop us with our escape.
Yeah,
All
It's
of them are
simplified.
dangerous enough to worry about.
yeah.
So there is a difference in how we view that, right? Every
So-
one of them is a danger.
They can
He
all kill us.
Agreed.
He
specifically
can stop
a
us.
danger to stop us from leaving once we have the stone.
Agreed, but it doesn't take you long to. How long, when you have that stone in your hand, Aleron, how long would it take you to be gone? Seconds?
As long as
So
we're
all
all
we have to
within range.
worry about is the brother from stopping that instant.
We all need to be within range. Am I correct?
I'm not worried about all of us.
Mhm.
I'm worried about the stone and the one person that can get the stone.
I believe
Away
within 10
from-
feet.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody, yeah. Let me put it this way. I'm not worried about anybody else other than the stone and Aleron who has the scroll, or whoever will have the scroll that can cast the scroll to get the stone out of the area.
Mhm.
That's all I'm worried about. Who goes with him? We'll see. But we just need to get that stone in Aleron's hands to get him away to stop the ritual. Whatever happens beyond that happens.
Recklin would be proud.
Or it doesn't necessarily have to be in my hands. Somebody within my area that I can get out.
Yeah.
If you're within that area, if I can't get you out, I can't get myself out.
That's the thing. I mean, someone needs to lay hands on that stone close enough to Aleron to get out. So we can. So I guess those are the options. The options I threw out there with the attempted deception of trying to get the stone and the mother away from the city. Option 2 is what HK presented, which is a somewhat stealthy entrance, utilizing Ubin's stature to get as far as we can go. And then option 3 is I guess more of the brute force. Anybody else have any other options?
Well, Pepper will say, if we're so intent on this being a suicide mission, with so many of going forward, some of us, I guess, could go with the gamblers back out, not go into this death trap. If that's what you're suggesting, Jude, if you're there to make sure that would happen, we don't necessarily need everyone to die. If that's what we're worried about, is that what we're all saying here?
I am not going to force anybody to go in that does not want to go in if there's not a guarantee on whether they get out or not. I'm willing to go in.
I guess that depends on this company then. Is everybody in? Aleski, are you in?
By the queen of the summer court and the bond I have made, I am in.
Muted, Matt.
Matt muted.
Pepper, do you know how to use these portals?
I know of them. I could track a portal as we get closer, but not really meant to use them. I was meant to stop them. Most of my abilities kind of go into that ground.
We also know there's a portal wherever the stone's going to be, at least when the stone's going to be used.
Yes.
So there has to be a
Yes.
portal somewhere in this household.
Yes.
But I think we really need to arrange to encounter Ubin's mother. And I apologize, Ubin, for saying this, but encounter Ubin's mother when she's at her most defenseless, and therefore we can encounter her in a way that puts her on the defensive and keeps her from attacking us. And that would be like in a bath, or when she's relieving herself. It would also, I expect, keep her sons from being there when she's encountered, and maybe even the daughters as well. If we can arrange to encounter her in a moment of both vulnerability and vanity.
And that would mean the deception would have to be very well in play, and it would be much more time consuming. But it is the more safer route if it isn't caught. The deception is maintained.
Does your mother have any habits or schedules that she follows? Does she have to pray at a certain time? Does she bathe at a certain time? Does she have certain social events that she prepares for?
She's the first mother, and many of these things are going to be part. As you know, I have many siblings. She has
Certainly, but I mean, are there any of these types of events that occur regularly that we can count on her being in a particular place at a particular time?
I think late evening she prays to Loth, but she does not pray to her anymore. I have been away now. All her other routines, any meetings that she would have with the other matrons, other time with my sisters, those that would be pleasuring herself from slaves, those would be sporadic. She knows how an assassin would work off of a time schedule. She is not made first mother because of being not cautious. So it would have to be, we would have to figure out what she's doing. Get whispers from her handmaidens that would be aware of what she'd be doing next. And that might be a very small time frame. So we'd have to be very quick to capitalize on a situation. But I do not have that information. I have been away for too long, and she has already changed goddesses on me to know that if that prayer is even correct.
And the likelihood of her trusting you after such a long time incommunicado.
She would not even respect me fully as only a male son anyways. My oldest sister holds her ear way over than I would be lucky. My consolidation to you is I can get you past the defenses of the drow and the slaves and get you into the inner sanction of the palace. But beyond that, my sisters, their courtesans and handmaidens and elite guard, upon their beckon, and the demons they may summon, will be what we are dealing with. But again, if we are deceitful, we are looking for other things, and we can be clever, we may avail much of that situation if they are in the routine of their normalcy of a drow palace. That I can tell you can be true.
Do like merchants and stuff from outside the city ever come? I mean, is that something that your mother would meet with?
She may know of it if something is grand. I was thinking maybe there was something to this dark sun. If we had some knowledge of why a meeting with him would be important, it would draw my mother to him immediately, and possibly with the stone. If we can play on that knowledge, but I don't know what she knows of him. You seem to also know more than you have revealed to me.
We know some, but he's so far in our past, several months wise that he hasn't even really come up. He's not been part of our thought processes for a while. He's outside of this ritual as far as we know it, insofar as what we can access or where we would be going.
Well, Vixette said he whispered something in my mother's ear to change her allegiance. It's significant in that regard. If we know something of, do we know, I served with, I guess in some aspect, coming from Fang's Port, I served the vampires there with that part. We could play off of that. I
Does
don't
she
know.
have any interest in this priestess that we have hostage?
The stones, if there's something on our part, possibly we could be there to say there's something wrong with our part of the ritual. We were sent to deliver a message personally, which is true.
Yeah. Pretend that we're emissaries from the vampires, that there's an issue that needs to be brought to our attention.
We would have a full court, I'm sure, but if we can be deceitful in that and get them to do elsewise from the court, possibly a parlay to separate that situation after that meeting, but at least gets us in the door and less of the intuitive stares of my sisters and my brother. Possibly we can find the weakness that we spoke of the rescue and resolve this again much more quietly and effectively. And
We could employ less deceit because we know she is at least partially in league with the Winter Court. It would not be out of the realm of expectation for representatives of the Spring and Summer Court to show up to entreat her to turn from the Winter Court.
Possibly, but she's not as deep in league with them. She may throw us in chains. But
we don't know how much that these different parts of the whole know about how involved they are with the other one. Just because the Winter Court and her are working towards the same goal, we don't know how involved they are with each other.
Correct.
They might be working towards the same ends, but be different, cogs on the wheel.
Yes.
True, but they have some kind of coordination because they had to have 3 different rituals going in 3 different locations.
It's true. We have that. Having that information gives us some credibility in the discussion with my mother. She would not expect us to be false if we able to speak so much of that. We do know where the stone is going. I doubt even if we told her the truth that it is going to a dragon, that she would be able to stop that situation. So again, we would have verification and validity in our statements. And again, catch my mother possibly disarmed.
I would do well to maintain a drow guise, so I will merely be a bodyguard for you, Uben. Me or if any visage other than my own as a warforged.
I think as a warforged is fine. You remember you took on the Black Knight when we met. She may not realize that you're different. I hate to be racially prejudiced, but my mother may just feel that you're the same. So if you were the Black Knight in name, you do not have to wear a guise and be threaten to trigger off a deceit. We just play off falsifies of names. She's going to have a hard time realizing that. We have truce to counter, and it gives us a chance to negotiate. Oleski seems to be well with figuring out what we need from what is happening, and perhaps we can actually turn my mother even again. I don't know.
So I will take on that guise then.
Is that what we wish to do then? We go in as emissaries as Feng's port to say that the ritual is in trouble, and we seek audience to remedy it.
I think that's the best way.
All right. The gamblers will secure Vixette. We'll be able to make a long rest because you guys are all going to need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
we'll end session here from that, and then we'll move forward. So I'm going to stop